This is Meyers Manx. Another video about building a perfect Meyers Manx 1 dune buggy. Assembly, first day. I got the body on yesterday afternoon about 2 o'clock and got it in the garage. Started putting it together. Let me show you what I did. I got the roll bar in it. That's pretty much bolted fast. Installed the battery cables, and the battery hold down. I put one of those terminals on it that you can disconnect the battery quick just by turning this knob. Little safety idea. For the most part, the seat belts are installed. I'll be finishing them up today. I hooked up most of the steering column wires. These connectors are all where they have to be. Installed the horn. Also hooked up the brake light switch to the master cylinder. The orange and white wire down there. This is for the gas tank sending unit, the fuel gauge. Started to hook the wiring up to the engine and the rear lights. Got that started. Next I'll be putting in the dash frame. Let me get that started. Here's the dash frame. I've taped this bolt through the frame so I can hit the hole that's on that side over there. Then the steering column. Bolts directly to the dash frame. One. Well, the battery went dead while I was filming that. I was putting in this last bolt on the left hand side of the steering column because that's a wire, that's a ground wire I've hooked to it, because you have to have your steering column grounded, otherwise the horn will not work. So if you ever do this, you got to make sure your column is grounded. The last thing I have to do is put this washer and nut on the outside of the body in here where the bolts went through. And that's it. Another day of building the perfect Meyers Manx 1 dune buggy. Assembly, day 2. Let's take a look. Well, I got the gas tank mounted. It's bolted in. The fuel sender is hooked up. The vent line is installed. If you have a sealed gas cap, you gotta have a vent. So you're gonna build up pressure in the tank when it's hot. We're sitting in the sun. The dash panel is installed, along with the gauge cluster. Headlight switch. The ignition switch. The headlight dimmer switch, the turn signal switch, and the wiper switch is all hooked up. Speedometer cable is in. This gauge assembly disconnects right here. There's 2 plugs you undo. Then there's 4 screws on the front. You unhook your speedometer cable and it comes right out. That's a good looking gauge assembly. Installed the tack. Now nobody ever puts a spare tire back here. I bought this and I put things in it, and also when I built it, installed this bar here. That bar keeps this from sliding out when you hit the brakes. It's underneath the rear seat. Just another place to put your stuff. I wanted to show you some attention to detail, because I have the boot for the alternator. Actually, there's 2 of them. They're installed. Instead of just having bare wire connectors here, I use the General Motors connectors and put that sleeve around them. That way they don't ever ground if you pull them off. The engine wiring is hooked up and done. I had that running yesterday. Okay, what else did I do? Well, I'm ready to put the hood on. Put the windshield on. And all the other fun stuff. That's the headlight switch. When you turn this counterclockwise, the under dash light goes on. We'll start it up for you. The engine hasn't run since yesterday, so we'll give it one shot of gas. Turn the key and there it is. All right, Meyers Manx, later.